Aye, cool.
Yeah,
Probably have it with
good.
cheese. Nice with cheese. I imagine that'd be good
Yes,
with cheese.
definitely it would be. Right. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing?
Hello, Jen. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. We're gonna drink some Port Askaig today.
Yes, fantastic. And a wee Islay dram. Very excited.
Yay. I'm excited about this one. Always excited about an Islay, whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably like if you could only drink one whiskey for the rest of your life or one region for the rest of your life, it'd probably be Islay.
Yep, definitely. That would be 100% what I would pick. No, no
And
questions. Definitely.
tell me more about this one as well. So it's not from, or we don't know where it's from, right?
Well, we don't technically know where it's from, but yeah, it's named Port Askaig, so that's where the ferry comes in on Islay, or where most people get the ferry to on Islay. So that's where the ferry goes to Jura as well and comes in from the mainland. There's no distillery in Port Askaig, but there is one very close by. They do say on the bottle of this one that it comes from a distillery on the northeast of the island. There are pretty much only two of those, so that narrows it down to Kalila and Bunnahabhain. And they do say it comes from very close to where the ferry comes in at Port Askaig. So that's going to be Kalila. So 100%, 99.9% sure that this is Kalila.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what we gather when you read stuff online and stuff about it as well. So
Yeah. So it's 12 years old, this one, and it's bottled at 45.8%. And they've been doing this as limited editions for a wee while, and this is the autumn bottling of last year.
It's really, and that's what, because we thought anyway, when we discussed this before, we thought it was Kalila. And that's one thing that surprised me because usually I find Kalila a really, really fruity whiskey. And this one I don't. I find it's quite ashy on the smell.
That's funny because I don't. I find this fruity, but it's not the usual. It's not the usual Kalila fruity so much. I get much more like red berries, kind of
I,
sherry and berries and a little bit of spice.
I'm just getting all ash. I'm trying to smell beneath it, but all I'm getting is ash, just ash.
Really, it's funny. We definitely are like complete opposites, but yeah, I find this. I definitely usually in Kalila get like peachy is what I mostly get. I get a little bit of that, but it's more like berry flavored. I get from this one.
Slanjva.
Slange. Mm.
Mm,
Mm. Mm.
quite ashy still. Wee soapy hint for me, but not
Oh, I get
unpleasant.
the soapy. I definitely get the soapy. Definitely not getting the ashy. It's more like juicy to me. It's like juicy and
Really?
yeah, yeah. I think as well that the one of the other names that one of the other reasons they called this Port Askaig was because that's where a lot of people start their Isla journey. So when they come over from the mainland, and I think this is a good one to like get people into Isla whiskey as well because it is quite like light and or for me anyway, light and fruity and kind of a gentle introduction to a peaty whiskey. It's almost not even
I,
peaty to me.
Really, I'm totally finding the opposite. Like I'm enjoying it, but I'm finding like some tobacco notes and like quite almost kind of vegetal note to it. Quite salty, quite savoury. I'm not getting any fruitiness really at all.
Oh wow, no, that's funny. Yeah, total opposite then. Yeah, there is a wee bit of like that kind of Isla like wispy smoke. I know what you mean by like the ashy dry smoke rather than like the earthy heavy smoke.
Mhm.
Which yeah, definitely would point to it being Kalila. But yeah, it has been in sherry casks this one as well. So it's been they made 9,000 bottles of this one, from nine refill American oak hogsheads, five Oloroso sherry butts, and three Solera sherry casks. So I'm definitely tasting the sherry influence on this one.
I'm totally shocked. I wouldn't have thought that had been that had seen a sherry cask if you'd asked me that just from tasting it.
Really?
That's cool. And did you say what percentage it was? Is it 45 point something?
45.8, yeah.
And non-chill filters and all that kind of good
Non-chill
chat.
filtered, no colouring. I think you can pretty much see it's quite light, and I don't know if you can even see
Quite
that
pale.
here, but yeah, quite light in colour.
Aye, cool.
Yeah, I
Would
really, really
would
like this one.
yeah, I I've tried other Port Askaigs I like better, to be honest. I wouldn't say no, obviously. Why would you? But yeah, it's probably not my favourite one. And I think more because I was taken aback, like if you think something about a whiskey and then you try it and you don't get what you thought you were going to get, you're almost a bit like, that shocked me.
Yeah, it's not right. Almost, yeah. And I know Kalila's one of your favourites, and if you know why you like it and you're waiting for those little elements in there that you like and you're not getting them, I can see why you'd maybe not go for this one so much. It's probably not one of my. I do really like it, but I tend to go for like a heavier peat smoke, and this one for me is really, really light on the peat smoke, but still nice. So I think it's probably about 35 parts per million if it's Kalila, which we think it is. Which depends on what's happened to it along the way, how much of that stays, and for me it lost quite a lot of that, I think.
Yep. I'm definitely agree with light, but for my taste it's quite peaty, but very light, definitely light.
An ideal one to choose if you want to get into Islay whiskies but find them a little bit much. Like, it's a very good beginner Islay whiskey, I would say. I think they've nailed it if that's what they were trying to do.
Agree. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks very much for Slandra. Yes. Thanks very much for talking us through that dram, Jen.
Thank you for joining me.
Yes, no, you're very welcome. Thank you for inviting me. And thanks anyone who's watching for watching along to our blathering about whiskey.
And see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Be sure to follow us on social media at The Grail Doon to keep up with our latest news, and check out our website www.thegrail.scot. Slange, and see you next time.
I am also, I don't know what else I was going to say, but I am too. Definitely.
And you can get the... Oh, I didn't say. I don't know what I was going to say.
I don't know.
I had something in my head and it's gone.